Hey everybody, and especially Nate in Nashville, Tennessee. Cajun Reviews for you, coming straight at you again today. Today I want to talk to you about my tick tracers, voltage sniffers. There's a few different terms for these things. But basically, with these, I have two of these. I have a Fluke. This is the Fluke 1AC2. I'm pretty sure this is the model number on this one. And this is the Klein NCVT6. Okay, so basically all this is you turn this tool on, and it's kind of like an indicator tool to give you the presence of AC voltage. Okay, I work on commercial fire alarms pretty much every day, and anything that I'm working on when it comes to interfacing with the electrical system, and I don't mean the electrical portion of a fire alarm, because majority of those circuits are in DC voltage, and I pretty much know how to handle that, and is relatively low risk as far as being shocked. When I'm working on the high voltage side or the AC voltage side, basically electricity coming in from the building to power the fire alarm system, I want to know if that circuit is alive or not alive. And this tool does that. So I turned this one on already, and this is all it does is you present the nose of this tool to a piece of wire, and if the light stays on steady, there's AC voltage present in those conductors. Now this tool does not tell you how much voltage is there. It just tells you that there is some AC voltage there. Okay, this is supposed to start at 90 volts to 1,000 volts AC. Okay, so according to this tool, there's at least 90 volts of electricity inside this piece of wire. Okay, so it doesn't tell me how much is there. Is it 90 volts or is it 200 volts? I don't know. Based on this tool, I don't know. Okay, but it does tell me that it's there. So at least you know before you start working on a piece of wire that, hey, this wire is alive. So, and if this wire has AC voltage in it, the potential for shock, if you put your body in the right positions on these bare conductors, if I strip this wire and put my body in the right position, there is a potential that I could be shocked. So that's why I always do this. If I open up a junction box, and I'm working on a fire alarm, I'll open up a junction box somewheres, and there's some wiring there that looks like it does not belong to the fire alarm normally. So anybody who works on fire alarms pretty much every day would be able to recognize what looks like electrical wiring versus low voltage wiring. So if I see any wiring in a box that I think is not fire alarm, I'm going to stick this tool into the box and kind of let it look around inside of that box, so to speak, to see if there's any AC voltage present in the box. So I want to know before I go sticking my fingers in there or what's in there. So that's generally what I do, and I normally carry this thing in my shirt, this tool in my shirt pocket. So turn it off like that, and I put it in my shirt. So I always have it available and ready to go. This thing is supposed to beep though when it senses voltage, but it hasn't done that in a long time. So I don't know, what the deal is. It beeps when I turn it off, but it doesn't beep when it senses voltage. Another thing to just be aware of on these tools, you'll see as I run this along this wire, even though I'm using the same wire, it doesn't always pick it up on that piece of wire. You see that? How I'm doing that? But once I get to a point to where it definitely has it in there, you see, now it says it's there. But as long as I'm running it along here, pull it away and put it back, it's there now. Pull it away again and pull it. You see, just a second ago, it was just flashing. It wouldn't tell me that it's there. So, I don't know. Maybe I need to slow down a little bit. No. See, according to this tool, this doesn't tell me that it's there. It's only at the end right here. Right there it does. anyway, right here. So it says it's there. That's the reason why, if I'm using this tool to look for AC voltage in a conductor, I'm gonna try to run it and pass it on both sides of the wire, all sides, and let it pause for a second just to see if it's there or not there. Because this is kind of squirrely. I'm starting to not trust this tool now. So anyway, we can try out this Klein one. Oh, I need to turn the beeper off. So this is the Klein tool, NCVT-6. This is also a voltage sniffer. So see, look at that. It's picking up the AC voltage through my body, I guess. Yeah. So if I don't touch it, it stops. If I don't touch the end of this cord, it doesn't beep. Just as a comparison, the Fluke doesn't see anything. So look at this. I mean, that's pretty. I think that's pretty impressive. So also it used this tool the same way. Pretty much run it along the cable, and you can hear it beeping and the red light flashing, saying that voltage is there. So I think that's pretty impressive, though, to pick it up like that, knowing that I'm touching it. And there's some voltage. There must be something there that is picking this up, because as soon as I let it go, the tone stops. So I think that's pretty impressive. I'll probably start using this tool and leave the Fluke behind. I've been using the Fluke because I trusted the Fluke more, but now that I've done this comparison for y'all, I'm starting to trust this tool more. So that's how this thing works. Again, it's called, there it is. It really getting excited right there. So that's how these tools work. Basically called a voltage sniffer, a Tic tracer. There's a bunch of different names for it. This tool also does near contact voltage and also a laser distance measure. Let's see. So this one, see, has the laser distance measure display on it. So you can measure, like if I want to measure the ceiling, 67, that's what it says, 67 5/16 inches. And it also, see if you can see on the back of the wall, the light, it says that's 41 9/16. So it has a laser pointer light on it. So the reason why I like a laser pointer light too is that, hey, Mr. Customer, I'm gonna put that device right there on the wall, right where my laser light is, so there's no mistakes and there's no confusion with the customer also. But anyway, I'm starting to trust this tool more. I don't like that this Fluke is not seeing that voltage. See, it's caught it that time. But right there, now it's got it. Pull it away. See, it only picked it up right there, right here. If I touch the wire, then it picks it up faster. I don't understand that. I'm not touching the metal part. See, I don't understand why. Anyway, that's probably my limited understanding of, science and engineering. But anyway, so, I just don't care for it now. I'm gonna use my see this Fluke, this thing with the Fluke, look, the Klein. I mean, this thing is beeping and telling me something's going on just because I'm touching the end of this connector, which I think that's pretty neat. I'd rather know that the voltage is there than, not know that the voltage is there, and let me know that I'm close to it and let me know. But I'm gonna probably start using this thing about this. The only drawback to this tool that I see is the size of this thing compared to the size of this one. This big thing, putting this big thing in my shirt pocket like this. It's kind of big and bulky, but I'm gonna probably start using this one, you know, because I'm just starting to not trust this thing. You know, one important note I wanted to make sure I mentioned to you all too is don't ever, ever trust a tick tracer or a voltage sniffer or whatever for the absence of voltage, okay? Just like I just showed you with this tool, with this Fluke one, if I don't put it in just the right spot and just the right way, it doesn't pick up on that voltage like it did a couple minutes ago. So don't ever use a tick tracer or a voltage sniffer for the absence of voltage. You only want to use these tools to detect the presence of voltage. Like, hey, you know it's there. Don't ever assume just because this thing doesn't light up that there is no voltage there, because there could still be voltage there and enough to hurt you even though this thing doesn't see it. So one thing on this Fluke is this thing starts at 90 volts AC to 1,000 volts. So I guess theoretically you could have 85 volts there or 60 volts there, and if you touch it, you know, you touch the hot wire, it can shock you and potentially in the right conditions could hurt you. So always use this for the presence of voltage and not the absence of voltage. If you want to make sure that there is no voltage on a wire, I cannot encourage you enough to use a multimeter for that. And in fact, in some situations, I have used multiple multimeters to meter for the presence of voltage. So if I don't say I do have a Fluke 117, I also have a Klein clamp meter, and I have a Fluke 107 meter. I've used 2 meters to meter the same circuit. Sometimes I just don't believe what the first meter is telling me. Like if I feel like something is one way and the meter says it's another way, I don't always trust that meter. So I'll go get a second meter and use 2 meters to verify what the conditions of a circuit. So always, please always, look, if you need to work on a high voltage circuit, I cannot encourage you enough. De-energize that thing, you know, go find the breaker, lock that thing down, turn it off and lock it out. So, and tag it out, because that's what I do, okay? And I'm not interested in being shocked. I wanna live to see tomorrow. But anyway, don't ever use this for to meter to test for the absence of voltage. This is only to test for the presence of voltage. But so this one right here on Amazon is about $27. It is more compact and easier to carry around. You know, for whatever reason, it no longer beeps when it senses voltage. It says it's supposed to beep, but it no longer beeps. I don't know what the deal is with that. The Klein one on Amazon is $55. So this is the Klein one. NCVT-6 is the part number of this tool. I believe this thing has a couple of AAA batteries in it. Right here. You have 2 AAA batteries in the end of it. The reason why I had originally was not using this tool is because I felt like, you know, with all the different modes on this thing, in other words, is it near contact voltage, or is it in the laser distance tape measure mode? You know, I was afraid I was going to be in the wrong mode with this tool and go to put it on a wire and it tells me it's no voltage there because it was in the wrong mode. But I see now, okay, so if I change it to, so right now it's in the laser distance tape measure mode. You see there's a red light on the wall behind me, but it still picks up that voltage. So it's still sensing the voltage even though it's in the tape measure mode. So I'm probably gonna start using this one more. I just felt like this one was more simple to operate and I don't have to worry about all those crazy modes on this thing. But I'm a little paranoid now with this. It's not gonna show me what I'm expecting to see or what this thing is showing me, just like I showed you. Like this thing, look at that. This thing is picking up that there is something. I mean, I think it's pretty impressive. how does it work? I'm not really sure how he's doing that. But anyway, I'm going to start using this tool. This is about $55 on Amazon. Again, this one's about $27. So double the price, but you're getting more functionality, and you got the tape measure thing in there. The only thing I don't like is the size of this thing. It is kind of big, but anyway. So anyway, I hope this video was educational as it was for me. I didn't realize that the Klein tool would pick up the voltage even if it was in tape measure mode, and I certainly didn't realize the drawbacks to this one not seeing that voltage. I'm quite impressed, you know, just touching the end of this connector right here, which it doesn't shock me or anything like that, but if I touch this Klein tool tells me that there's some voltage somewhere. So I'm pretty impressed with that. Anyway, I hope this video was educational for you. Please like and share, follow, like, and share. If you have any questions, please send me a DM or post a comment in the video, and I will respond to you as soon as possible. Thank you very much. Y'all have a wonderful day. Bye. God bless. Bye.